Hello, folks. Welcome to the Jurassic Rhythm Tournament. We're in round two here with some really excellent racers. Phone on the left, Spike on the right. I am Jim the Eternal. With me is RizGod Nate. Nate, how you feeling about this race?
Hey Jim, glad to see you all. I'm feeling very excited about this race. This being round two, they've gone over their first round hurdles, and both their races were pretty close, which is always exciting. And I'm ready for a good time for just awesomeness.
Yeah. I know both of these racers are excellent. I've managed to catch one of Phone's previous matches, and I've tried to catch a few streams here and there, but I know that my level of knowledge is definitely not at your level. So I'm
Oh,
very happy to be here with such an accomplished
oh,
racer, somebody with your knowledge level. I think
yeah.
it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot of fun, and thank you for this compliment. You're making me blush.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is gonna be a great time as we now have the runners going with Luca and Robo start.
So this is cool. I know Robo, a great physical attacker. Luca, a little bit of a harder starting character unless you get some good equipment for her or you get some good techs for her. What is your sense in terms of like what characters they're going to be on the lookout for with this comp?
Ooh, yeah. So Luca Robocomp at the beginning, I've they're pretty well in tune together. If Luca has some pretty good techs at the beginning, such as Fire 2 or Flare, she can have like some fire tackle synergy going on with Robo. So on the lookout, if they're feeling a little bit rocky today, like Blue Rock, Magus, that's a possibility. Maybe they'll be looking for them. Um, or Mar will be pretty sweet too with the ice tackles and the antipode 3ing. So with this party, the really only thing that I think they would be worried about right now is that their speed isn't exactly the highest.
Yeah, that is definitely something to be careful of. Fortunately, they're going to be picking up a lot of tabs early on, and depending on how they want to spend them, they could make up for that kind of deficit early on.
Hmm.
And a lot is going to depend on whatever third character they find.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's accessories out there that will is- like increase your like speed and all that fun stuff. And at the beginning, generally right now, both are runners. They're checking for key items and grinding. Um, as it looks like in the snail stop, there's a dreamstone, and
Yeah, I saw a couple of the texts flash past for Robo and Luca on phone side. I didn't quite catch them. I did see Cure Beam come up. Didn't see if there was any good offensive techs or any good screen clears for either of them. Both of these characters, obviously, very good screen clears if you get the right techs for them.
yeah, and the neat thing about Robo too is he is a part of Team No Magic, so you don't have to visit the end of time to unlock all of his techs. But with Luca, you would have to visit there to get more than 3, as the Carpenter check is Toma's Pop.
So this is another link in the chain that's going to open up Giant's Claw for them if they decide to go into the dungeon as their next step. Might be not something they go immediately. I've definitely seen some runners decide they want to grind a little bit before heading into one of the dungeons, but this is potentially leading to another check in the near future.
Yeah, like you were saying, the Toma's Pop does open up Giant's Claw. It is one of the dungeons that's middle of the road in like the difficulty. Um, and it was kind of neat that they found it early too, so that they could just go to the grave and just dump it there, and they can be on their merry way.
Mm-hmm.
I had also noticed too that Luca does have Flare as her third tech, so she's pretty enticing keeping the party right now.
And looks like a decent tab range as well. I believe the power tabs were +4, and we just saw the magic tab come up as +2. So potentially a lot of power down the road here.
Yeah, um, the four power tabs, they're great. So we could see some routing where you might not usually like want to really look for those power tabs if they're only like +1 or 2. So maybe both of them will go out of their ways a little bit to pick those bad boys up.
Hmm. So
Um,
while our runners are kind of doing all of their early game checks, retracing each other's steps, figuring out what's what in this kind of beginning area of the game, is there anything in particular that you want to see during this race?
oh boy, during this race, hmm, I'm I would like to see a lot of divergence, and I I like what um both of the runners are doing with like Spike grinding in 1000 AD. That's pretty cool. It's something that it's not really seen too often, so it's neat to see different things like that and just like how people play this randomizer and
Mhm.
what like some shenanigans that I'm kind of hoping for. Maybe a I'm I want to see Geno don't play today. Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm. Yeah, it would be cool to see some more of the future. I think several
Hmm.
of the races so far have ended up in some decently quick go mode, something that you can get either immediately off of the pendant or gate key, or even going to Magus's castle kind of without heading towards the future or the past at all. So yeah, it would be cool to see some more explorations in the future.
Hmm. Yeah. Spike still Spike is grinding in the forest, getting those tech points and experience. As Phone is heading into the cathedral right now, and this is where we are going to find our first character check.
Yeah, this is exciting. I think this is really
It
going to
is.
set the tone for what the next couple of decisions are going to be for these characters, for these runners.
Yeah, they will have a general idea of like if they really like the person that's coming up here, if they want to do back cathedral also. Um,
Yeah, back of Cathedral, potentially an important place to get another character. We could also see potentially checking the burrow in order to find out just find out what other characters are available and where they are.
yeah, um, and if they do happen to find a hero medal too, and they feel like maybe it's a little out of the way, that's another key item that they could find. And you're right, there is another character down in Burrow. Um, as Phone finished that fight up there, we're gonna see in a second here.
Yeah, pretty clean fight. I like the use of Robo's local area attack with the Nagaets that kind of come in for the attack. So timing it correctly can get you a lot of advantage there.
Oh, you're right, it's super satisfying. With we've got a frog here today, a vanilla. Um,
Frog in the frog spot. Scheming
yeah,
and
it is.
randomized.
No, yeah, it is. It is. And yeah, uh, Frog's pretty neat. He does hold um the Magus Castle go mode. He's one of the characters that you do need. Um, and you would also have to like find the sword pieces and the hilt. So, Phone already leaving Kath seems pretty content with finding Frog there, and we're going to be seeing what the Phone's going to do next. And Spike is now entering Kath also to find their little froggy friend there.
Yeah, we saw Spike briefly going onto the bridge, kind of triggering the start of that chain of events. While Phone, it looks like, is going to Hecarim Cave.
Yeah, Phone Hecarim Cave is a great spot to find tech points. Um, might be excited to see Flare on that tech list and figuring, that they probably want to get it early. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to see if maybe like Spike might check out the back or whatever they're planning on doing. And who knows who the boss is going to be at the end of Hecarim. Could be spicy. Um, and yeah, these enemies here that Phone are fighting, they do drop 25 tech points. So it's a great spot to, if you really want your tech list to advance quickly. Like this is how you can do it.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like a good choice. I think seeing sort of the early techs for Luca and for Frog are definitely going to be helpful to sort of figure out kind of what path they're going to follow. Um,
Hmm.
And then you were saying that the magic is locked for some of the characters. So Robo, obviously a Nomad character, has all of their techs available when you get to them. But Luca and Frog both require a visit to Specchio at the end of time in order to go past 3 techs, right?
Yeah, you're right. And there's another 2 characters, the Magus and Ayla. They are both part of the Team No Magic that don't have to visit Specchio. And everyone else, Chrono, Frog, Marl, Luca, they would have to. Oh, and then Frog does have Leap Slash too.
Right on. Looks like we are getting back of Cathedral from Spike, so we'll see. We'll end up seeing whoever's in that Yakra spot and whoever is the character that we're going to get from there in a little bit. Quick peek at the tech, so we see Leap Slash as the opening tech for Frog. I don't know that we've seen the next one down yet.
Yeah, the vibe check on this party. this party, fairly good. I like the Leap Slash early. That's really nice. Maybe you won't have to visit the end of time if you're not wanting to. If you find like some really good techs early that are just maybe heal will be coming up, water too. And with Luca having flare, the really only other one that you might want is fire too, since a lot of dual techs involve that. And it looks like Spike is willing to check out the back of Cathedral to find another character.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what else is out there in this seed.
Yeah, me too. And Phone leaving Hecarim Cave looks like their play was to get those tech points, and we'll see what they're going to be up to right up next.
I've actually seen Phone do this before, deciding that, especially with Robo in their party, going for Desert as a better grind spot before trying to make it to the boss in Hecarim Cave. I think a lot of it depends on the text, though. So if he feels like he has a good screen clear, if he feels like he can take these fights, then he'll probably try and grind here as opposed to grinding in Hecarim Cave.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot like to use ice and water too, since the enemies in desert are weak to those spells. However, if you do have Dark Matter with Magus, Flare with Luca, which we do have, and I believe Luminaire also, that will also get the job done for these enemies in here.
Yep, and there is the Flare. This is going to be a bit of an MP hog, but definitely an effective clear and really good experience for the section that they're in, right? A good experience, good tech from these enemies?
Yeah, around the 14 tech points there, and like you're saying too, tons of experience to be handed out here, as Desert isn't really too well known for the tech points, but it's still really decent too.
Yeah, I really like seeing this play, especially with Robo in the party, since this has the potential to lead into another key item check.
Yeah, Robo does, hold the key item behind Desert. You need to have him in your party and talk to Fiona afterwards. The boss will be a little more difficult in here, since it's one of those dungeons that are mid-level-y.
That makes me wonder, is Phone going to go for the boss here immediately, or is he just going to use this to like grind a bit and get some of the treasure in here and then come back for the boss later?
Yeah, lots of really good loot in Desert. Spike finding out who the boss is in Cathedral, which is a Golem.
So how bad is Golem in this boss spot? This is still early, the party's still fairly weak. In terms of the kinds of bosses that you can fight, is Golem an easy one? Is Golem a hard one?
Typically, Golem is one of the harder bosses. However, seeing Golem hanging out here in one of the earlier spots, it will only have around 900 to 1,000 hit points. So, like, seeing them here would definitely be a little sigh of relief compared to maybe later, like in the Black Omen or something like that.
So because they're somewhat a more difficult fight, seeing them in an easy spot is kind of a nice role to have, rather than worrying about how hard they are in this location.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, the red pin's going out and Golem burping. Then as Spike finishes up that fight there, and Phone is still exploring, lurking around in the desert.
Just learning Robo Tackle for Robo.
Ooh. Yeah, and Robo Tackle, that's one of those moves where your weapon doesn't really affect how much damage it does either. So you could have like the hammer arm, like one of the really early game items, but the tackle it'll just still be really strong, since I believe it doesn't really base its damage off of the weapon itself. As we're Spike is now also heading up to check out who their next character is going to be. Maybe searching for something that has maybe a cheaper clear.
Ooh, Magus. So with the level 2 spells frequently showing up on Magus, that's potentially a much cheaper clear than Flare.
Yeah. I did see Ethers, they're rolling out 9s this seed, which is 1 lower than in Vanilla. Dark Bomb. Yeah, so... And Magus also having an amulet too, that saves from having to spend around 50,000 gold at the end of the game too. He gets all those like funky status effects that those bosses do. And also, like, as well as you were saying, their screen clears, their MP cost is way lower than Flare, which is 20, and Ice 2 will be 4, and like same with Fire 2 and Lightning 2.
Did we see tech check for Magus? Do we know what he's starting with?
I believe I saw a Magic Wall and Dark Bomb with Ice 2 as their 3rd tech. And checking out the bridge to see what key items like hanging out there. Phone looting up the desert.
Yeah, it looks like deliberately avoiding the boss fight.
Yeah, lots of consumables down here today.
Ruby Knife.
Ooh, Ruby. Ooh. My goodness. Okay.
Well, Ruby Knife and Dreamstone already on the offing for Spike if he commits to it, and doesn't look like he's resetting out of the bridge. So it seems like he's happy to get to pick up this Ruby Knife here, which means he's a gate key away from go mode?
Yeah, so with the Dreamstone and the Ruby Knife, the only thing that's standing in the way for Spike getting a go mode is the gate key, which gives access to Tyranno Lair. And to get to the end of the randomizer, you would have to get all the key items for either Max Castle, which would also get you to Lavos. So Frog, Bent Sill, the sword, and the hilt. And Mother Brain is lurking in desert today.
Yeah, Phone taking advantage of all of his gains, going outside for a quick save, and then dropping back in for the boss fight here. How do we feel about Mother Brain in this location? This is kind of a mid-level boss fight, right?
Yes. Mother Brain, the monitors they do like to heal, but Phone, aware that the Hypno Wave will put those monitors to sleep too, so they're not going to have to worry about Mother Brain healing anymore. So that's great, and what she really has right now are just her little like lasers and then her little blast that she did there that could cause status effects, but could see this as a really easy clear for Phone here.
Yeah, it's really nice to see status effects being used in fights like this, especially in boss fights, where you'd think it wouldn't matter quite as much. So really a heads-up play from Phone, being aware of the abilities that he has available and using them to his clear advantage.
Yeah, and I took a peek at Spike's screen for a second. That was a great menu little glitch there that you could do on Bridge whenever everybody groups up together. you can mash the menu button, and then you're able to heal and put any gear on that you might have found. Where blue vests were dropping on the bridge, and so were hyper ethers.
Wow, nice.
As now we're going to see who's hanging out on bridge. His phone is continuing the assault on Mother Brain.
Yeah, dueling boss fights. Not quite getting to the end here. There's a lot of HP to chew through. And
Yeah,
one of the Yakras, Yakra 13, over on the bridge side.
Yeah, so Yakra doing 13, doing their shenanigans where they can confuse, and that can be a little not too fun. But in this boss spot, it's around Yakra's gonna have like around 21 to 2200 hit points. Magus with the dark bombs and all their other little fun spells doing around, I think I saw 600. Yep, so yeah, not bad.
Yeah, just shy of 400 per attack, so a couple more dark bombs, and that'll be pretty good.
And
I'm really wondering what key item we're going to get out of the desert here for Phone, since this is, I think, a direction that Spike is likely to not take in the near future. And probably see Spike going for one of the other easier key items check, maybe going for Giant Claw or something like that. So Phone has the potential to find something either really important here or really misleading, given how easy we have access to the impending Tyranno Go mode.
yeah, Phone making it through Mother Brain 2. Oh, that was a really great boss fight by them, as that's honestly a pretty tough boss to be finding there. And like you're saying too, with the Desert Gamble, I mean, we don't know if Phone's gonna find anything great right now. But
what if this is the gate key?
it would be pretty cool. But yeah, you're right. It could be the gate key. And I mean, there's still a lot more. We're still in this pretty early. Tons of possibilities of like all the key items that we're going to be seeing. So which we're about to see right now. On Phone's side.
Yeah, and Phone hasn't found the ruby knife yet, so he may not be quite as excited about a gate key as we would be. The clone. Okay. So 1 of 3 towards Black Omen, but not anything immediate.
Yeah, 1 of 3 for Black Omen. The other 2 being the Pendant and the Chrono Trigger. You would have to go get access to Future in order to activate and do Black Omen, head up Death Peak, all that other little fun stuff, and Spike eating some cake at that residence there as Phone did a little shopping.
Yeah, picking up a few weapons at the Millennium Fair. Sounds like Phone is definitely somewhat invested in the characters they had available. And are we going to see side-by-side Hecarim Cave?
Yes, we were seeing some high-five action.
Phone has cleared out a bunch of the enemies in here already, so he gets to kind of rush through here, whereas Spike needs to do a little bit of fighting first.
Yeah, and their Phone having cleared Desert too, there was, as I believe, yeah, got a lot of XP from that too. So the boss will likely be a little easier, but we don't know. Like, it could be a boss that's weird, like Boss Golem. Could just be chilling out back here too, and having cleared out a little bit more, like you were saying. Yeah, it is pretty cool that we're seeing both the players in Hecarim Cave right now. They're wanting their tech points.
Yeah, and that flare hitting really hard. It's a great screen clear, even if it is a little bit expensive.
Neat bat skip there with Phone.
Yeah, good job. There's so many different skips. There's so much like cool execution in this game So anytime somebody kind of works their way around an encounter, it's always really neat to see.
And I'm sure that Spike is really happy too, seeing that Flare and Ice 2 unlock. Feeling more comfortable now with being able to get through these enemy mobs over here. And Miss Atropos is hanging out in here today.
How do we feel about Atropos in this spot?
Oh, well, with that Flare doing 11 to 1200, fairly comfortable. Like, this is gonna likely just be one of those schmeals where it's gonna be over like right now.
Yeah, with only 2100
yeah,
HP in the spot, really doesn't make too much of a difference who shows up.
Yeah, so both runners really not gonna have too many issues with an Atropos hanging out here. Yeah, Flare,
Dropping a hyper ether for their troubles.
perfect. Yeah, those are expensive spells to be using, so it's always cool to have that extra sandbag, that comfort in finding those ethers.
And now we'll see what the key item here is.
Yeah.
Show me the Chrono Trigger. Oh, pendant.
Ooh, pendant. Oh. Okay.
Are we going to see a quick rush for the future here from Phone, or are we going to stick around in 600 and 1000 and find some more key items?
That's a great question. Phone is zipping back to 600. Likely wanting to see what is dropping off the bridge here.
Yeah, and we already know that as the Ruby Knife, this is potentially an important check, depending on whether or not the gate key is nearby and findable.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Where right now we're having a case where we have two pieces of two different go modes. So maybe somebody would run through Tyrannosaur, or in the other runner we can get some divergence here and might find something for the Chrono Trigger for Black Omen. That Ruby Knife there for Phone.
So, not a whole lot of options. Ooh, not even going for it. Deciding the Ruby Knife is not worth his time. I guess because he does have the two pieces of the other go mode?
Yeah, I also know a tiny bit of Phone lore here. Likes to be doing their ABCDs, always be climbing mountains. So, doing this Denadora play before, like committing to like doing something in the future. They're here in 600 anyway. Could just want to see, like, before they go to a different time period, what's kind of lurking around in the other area.
I kind of like this Denadoro check. I kind of like sort of clearing out the present before moving on to, an Aerostome or a Genodome check or something like that.
Yeah, with, like, we were talking about future a little bit, and, like, those dungeons being, like, higher level too. And you would have to go through the jail too, like the prison section in vanilla, where with Chrono. So maybe just wanting to find a key item right now before having to commit to something like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long journey, especially if there's the potential for something that kind of gets you going ahead of time.
Yeah, wanting to find the Chrono Trigger as soon as possible. So, I mean, we never know.
For sure, for sure. Do you think we're gonna get Giant's Claw out of Phone before he heads towards the future?
Ooh, Spike finding their pendant too. That's a very good question.
And Spike already having the Ruby Knife in hand, I think the math here is a little bit different.
It is a little bit, since Spike doesn't know, obviously, where the clone is yet in Desert. It's probably really wanting to get this Tyranno lair. Phone doing all these nice little Denadoro skippy poos.
Yeah. And we do have the run verified on Spike's side, so the cat has been pet.
Yes, we've got our cat's pet. Super valid. Mountains are nice too.
Mountains are nice, and so are magic tabs.
Yeah, +2 today. And
So a bit more Denadoro to climb on phone side, and Spike now has some decisions to make.
lots of decisions.
Looks like Spike is going to go for the desert here. So we've already seen Phone go through a bunch of this stuff, which I kind of get the sense of this puts Phone a little bit ahead, I think. Just in terms of the order of the fights that he's taken and the levels that he's gained. He's kind of moved pretty quickly here, and now we have Spike retreading some of Phone's old territory, while Phone is pushing into something new.
Yeah, and this is also like a great play by Spike too. Getting level ups in this randomizer is really important, and having the Ice 2, feeling pretty confident to be able to get through this desert easy, and maybe once Spike sees that the clone is here too, is gonna be like, man, like, should I do like Black Omen or Tyranno? And it's always neat to see these two, like, having these two key items, and it's just like, which one do I want to do? Masamune.
You know, honestly, one thing that I really like about kind of the way Spike is handling Desert here is Ice 2, not only a cheaper spell than Flare, and doesn't need to be quite as powerful as Flare because the damage type is useful, but also I think it's a bit of a quicker cast, right? Just the animation for it moves a little bit quicker, which that's kind of cool compared to Flare.
Yeah, Ice 2 is the fastest animation in the game. Mud Imp hanging out on top of Denny's Mountain. And what's really with this boss fight, you just have to take out the Mud Imp and that's it. It's really, really weak to magic. So this flare is going to be spicy. Yeah. And Mud Imp taken down there easily. So
Rest
that's,
in
yeah,
peace, Mud Imp.
yeah, really. So that great Denny's climb is Phone's definitely hoping for this Chrono Trigger just to be right here.
Yeah, that would be pretty convenient just to have the go mode immediately. But if we see the gate key, there's going to be the question of whether he goes back for the bridge.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hero Medal. Okay.
Okay, pushing that decision off a little bit
Yes.
further. We get to find out. We get to wait a little bit longer before we find out what's in Denadoro.
Yeah, and I don't believe we checked Burrow out either to see who's sleeping over at Frog's place.
That's true. Yeah, we don't know what character is there yet.
Yeah, and that key item being there too. Finding that Hero's Medal is, yeah, it's basically a free key item check. Plus, it is different compared to vanilla, where it has that critical chance, but it also has the 50% damage increase.
I'm getting a ribbon out of the pot. And Marley.
Marley keeping her ribbon in that chest there. Handy. Ooh. A bent hilt.
All right. So we're pretty spread out here. We know where 2 pieces for 2 different go modes are, and 1 piece for the last one. Well, I guess 2 pieces since Frog's already in our party.
Yeah, it's...
So, one key item away from each of the different go modes?
You're right. And we're only 33 minutes into the seed too. It's pretty incredible that we found like 2 items for each go mode already.
Yeah. Getting kind of lucky in terms of like not a lot of chains of items so far. Like we found sort of the dead end pieces almost immediately.
Yeah.
Although probably going to Giant's Claw. Yeah, Phone looks like he's heading to Giant's Claw now rather than pursuing the future. And I think this makes sense, right? Going through the dungeon here before finding out, going through the dungeon here as opposed to trying to head over to Aristome, it feels like this is going to be a little bit quicker and doesn't commit you towards one path.
Yeah, I mean, having 2 items for each go mode, definitely feeling that there's a good chance that they're gonna find something here for one of them at the very least. We do still have some items out there though, like, I mean, the Moonstone, Jerky, Grand Leon, and Ribbon. So we might have to be maybe gate keys here too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So like right now, there's still tons of different possibilities of what's going to happen here, and Spike uh, biting on through Mother Brain.
Now, kind of going back to what I was saying before. So Phone is in new territory here. Phone is exploring places that neither of the runners have been. Spike finishing up the desert now. We know exactly what he's going to get from that. We know that he's going to get the ruby knife, and that's going to be a nice find for him. But the question becomes: is he going to continue treading in Phone's footsteps, or is he going to explore something new in order to find something that we know they both need?
Yeah, I mean, with the pendant and all these levels that Spike has been getting throughout this dungeon, definitely going to be feeling powerful enough to go through the prison part of the game into the future. And thinking that, well, I could be really close to like this Black Omen go mode, to might as well check out and see what's going out past that direction too.
Right? I mean, I could easily see Spike making the decision to check out the future, going to Aristome, finding a gate key there, and being like, okay, I have my go mode, while Phone is messing around in Giant's Claw, or potentially exploring some of the other chains of things, and ends up being a little bit behind.
And great fight with Spike there. Mother Brain down, and we did find a Black Rock in Giant's Claw, which would require Marl. It was at Frog's Burrow, and in order to unlock her, you would have to forge the Masamune, which would put both of the players into the Macus Castle Go mode.
Yeah, at that point, you would already have all the pieces that you need.
Yeah. Feeling comfortable with the tech points, so not worried about rebels, as Spike is going to be finding their clone here in the shrine. Another cool thing about Giant's Claw is there's tons of power taps here.
Yeah, I guess Phone is at the point now with his experience level, with his tech points, where he probably feels like he doesn't really need much more than what he has in terms of kind of progressing through the boss fights that are available to him.
Yeah,
or the spawn, rather.
Yeah, you're right. Level 19 is a very good level to be able to complete all the dungeons fairly easily. We still don't have our magic unlocked yet either, so it does kind of suck a little bit that Robo is getting all the tech points, so that is a good thing about it. But Luca and Frog are missing out on that, as Spike is taking the pendant route here.
So this is a pretty major divergence, right? If Phone
is.
finds something, it's going to be a while before Spike gets it. And if Spike finds something in the future, then Phone is, coming at it a little bit from behind, depending on how long this fight takes and what decisions he makes from here.
Yeah, a neat thing about Future too, there's a Sun Palace, which is a really quick check, as it's only a boss fight and that's it. So I mean, and there's a lot of good items too behind the sealed doors. You're gonna have the sealed chest unlocked now, that once you gain access to the future, you're able to do that. Maybe looking to find some good gear with these chests here too, also.
Yeah, with that early pendant charge set, that does, like you were saying, open up a lot of convenient checks with some pretty powerful gear in it.
Yeah, so like, this is really cool. I'm happy that both of our runners are doing this divergence here.
Hmm.
Gonna see a lot more like I'm different go modes. I mean, that'd be pretty neat. Um, phone going at the spawn with a red pin, and it's hurting a lot. It did hurt a lot as
Yeah, there you go.
that spawn is down, finding a
Very,
speed
very
belt.
nice fight. Really clean.
Mm. Spike doing some skips in the prison here, doing their schmiddle pretty cleanly too. Now, the key item behind Giant's Claw, we're gonna find out here.
Right? And this is kind of a potentially a big turning point. Prism Shard.
Prism. Okay, so not exactly. I would feel like something Phone was looking for here. Um,
Yeah,
y-
probably not. I mean,
and-
anything that would be behind this Prism Shard is going to be behind Marley, which means at that point,
mhm.
they've already got a go mode.
Yeah, you're
So,
right, and I mean, there's also a chance too with turning in the shard here. What there could be a possibility if he does find the bent sword and isn't feeling Magus Castle, you can do a quick check with the Prism Shard, and you can just go down into the basement and you can see what the key item is there.
mhm.
So, I mean, maybe Gate Key could be there, the Chrono Trigger that they're wanting, or maybe even just Magus Castle, like the bent sword itself. And Phone is
Yeah,
doing that
yeah, yeah.
check.
And looks like, oh yeah, just to go see what it is and decide at that point whether or not
Hmm.
it's worth your time.
Yeah.
I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's cool. That's I like being able to peek the items. I didn't know this was possible.
Yeah, this is a new feature that was added pretty recently too, so we don't have to watch all the cutscenes like before, and you just like you were saying, it's cool. You can just dive right into here and see, just take a peek what's hanging out behind this nice little shard. As there's a lot of good loot too.
Mhm.
The Grand
Grand
Leon.
Leon. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
probably not
Mm.
worth assembling the sword and getting Marley and going through the trial.
Yeah, I mean, being it is Frog's best sword.
Mhm.
Um, it is. Uh, yeah, I kind of have the same feelings as you do here on that. Um, Phone is also, yeah, taking this prison dive now. I believe doing all the checks that they could have done,
Yeah, it
and
really feels like they cleaned out the area. So they are a little
yeah,
bit ahead of Spike in terms of knowledge, um, but not actually ahead of Spike in terms of available pieces for their go mode yet.
yeah, and Mike here, we're fighting our doppelganger Magus,
Mhm.
the Northern Cape one. um, this boss doesn't attack really too much until second phase, which we're at right now, and he'll cast it like all of his magical spells like lightning 2, ice 2, and all that fun stuff really quickly. So the second phase here can be pretty dangerous if you don't maybe have that one party member in the back just as like a safety to heal.
Mhm. Luca here not taking a whole lot of damage from these spells, so
Mm,
while the
yeah.
other two are maybe taking a little bit more.
Yeah, and Spike just going for the gold here,
Makes
wanting to take
sense.
down as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, Spike pushed through to phase two very quickly, so it seemed likely that they wouldn't take too much more in order to actually get through the fight.
Yeah, and dropping white mail too. That's a pretty good piece of gear to have. Um, if they do manage to get like honestly either Zeal or Lavos, since you can absorb some spells with that bad boy. Um, but that was a great fight with Spike surviving that. Phase two was in a joke at that spot.
Hmm. So I'm going to be keeping track a little bit of the timers here. Spike out of that fight at 43 minutes.
Hmm.
So I kind of want to see kind of how far behind Phone is moving into kind of the future checks here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting with Phone's case. They're just searching for that one piece for all three different go modes, and Spike is heading into this future with knowing where both like they got two pieces of the Black Omen and Tyranno lair.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, really like how they diverged there a little bit, and both the players' knowledges are a lot different at this point. Um, just like different ways of thinking right now is Spike's checking out those sealed doors and
Yeah.
Phone making their way up to this Magus fight.
It would be really fascinating if Eris Dome had the bent sword, because that would be I feel like that would be kind of a rough decision point for Phone, right? Like at that point, finding your Magus Castle Go mode in the future.
Yeah,
Do you keep going? Do you take some more future checks? Like, what do you do there?
that's it is a really tough decision. Of Yeah, with Phone's case, it, yeah, like you're saying, I mean, could find the bent sword here as Spike is doing their character check in Protodome. Having all these different options, it's like, well, I mean, it's neat to have this go mode, but I really preferred the other one. I might do one more dungeon here.
Yeah, and in this position specifically, right? In the future, kind of you have a few more checks opened up to you. Some of them a little bit longer, a little bit more of a hassle to go through. Like, do you want to go through Genodome? Do you want to go to Sun Palace before committing to one of the Go modes that you have available if it's not your preferred Go mode? I think it's some fascinating decisions ahead, especially depending on what we find out of Arisdome.
Yeah, and Ayla.
Mm.
Okay, Ayla's hanging out in Proto. Another a no magic unlocked character, which we still have not unlocked that either.
Yeah, in order to get access to Specchio at this point, you have to go through the factory to get the gate to end of time, right?
Yeah, so both of them can go through the factory to get their magic. And another way to also do that is if they find the gate key, which is a lot quicker, but you have to find the gate key. So Spike is opting in, as it looks like, going into the factory.
Hmm. And Phone crushing that Magus fight, just moving
Yeah.
straight on through at the 46:10 mark. So, all things being equal, Phone is about 3 minutes behind Spike right now.
Yeah, and this play with by Spike too, getting the magic, is I mean, we're how many like minutes into the run already? Um, may not be really liking the text that Luke is having. Like, Flare is great. Um, we do also have Frog lurking in the back too for them as well. So just maybe wanting to see, what other options they have for this party, as we don't really have. It's not the fastest, um, and it it is team. Yeah, yeah. It is cool. We don't really see too many factory plays, which is awesome. Is a Rainbow Helm dropping too?
Oh, that's nice to find.
Yeah.
So, so what do you think Spike is hoping to get out of this factory play? Does this open up the route to any more key checks, or is this purely for character progression?
Yeah, so with Factory, there's no key items at the end of Factory. However, having that magic unlock would be super nice to have. So this play is for character progression. However, once you do complete this, you also gain access to 12,000, which means Mount Woe will be unlocked too. So maybe we could see some Mount Woe action too after this. Yeah, like, and there's a lot of ruffles up there too. So I mean, if you just unlocked your magic, you'd be able to level up all that fun stuff pretty quickly there.
Phone looting his way through Lab 16, and I did see a Lapis Dash M drop for Phone. So that's part of the healing randomization, right?
Yeah, in the tourney, we do have our healing and gear rando turned on, and Lapis is M, as in vanilla, they do roll the hit points. But in this case, with the M being on the end of there, we're going to be getting some MP here instead. and that can be really nice to have, just like that option to just like have everybody just get some more MP points really quickly.
Phone looks like very much prioritizing gear here, looking at all of these different chests, going through a lot of these areas, skipping the fights mostly, but just looting the chests. So is this a higher level of chest? I know that chests are kind of divided into sort of low, mid, high in terms of the kinds of things that you can get out of them.
Yeah, so these chests that Phone has been checking out, they typically do have a lot of like higher tier loot in them, like in the sewer right here as well. We've seen things drop from just like studs to, I mean, a flea vest is pretty nice. It sells for a lot of money. Um, Checking out, yeah, the sewers definitely does have a higher loot pool, as well as like lab 16. Um, Poltonics, yes, there's really decent stuff in these places if you're willing
Yeah,
to check it
a
out.
lot of consumables dropping for
Mm,
phone, and some decent gear here and there as well.
yeah, and speed belts with, yeah, spikes at the end of the factory here now. So uh, we're gonna be seeing another boss fight here. Phone finding Ayla. Uh, we'll see if
Yeah, getting that
they'll
perfect in the
snatch
character
them
tech.
up. Yeah.
Do you think we'll end up with Ayla in Phone's party? I mean, I feel like Phone is pretty dedicated to the party that he has at this point, but Ayla could come in. I think somebody in chat mentioned that she had triple kick open from the start. So,
Mm.
given that tech available, is that going to be like part of the decision making process for Phone here?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. One of the better dual techs in this game is dropkick, which Ayla and Frog can do. You need triple kick and leap slash, so that could factor in this decision here for Phone if they want Ayla into their party. Um, Checking it out, seeing,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see what they're gonna do here
Oh yeah, and the
immediately.
instant swap. Okay.
Yeah, instantly. Um, yeah, this party comp that Phone does have going on right now has a good variety. As Masamune is at the end of the factory here on Spike's side. Um, we do have Blaze Kick, Flame Whirl with Ayla and Luca, and with the Frog and Ayla's side of things, Drop Kick, and there's an AoE heal too. There's just a lot of different like comps that you could do with this party, which makes it like a lot of runners like preferred like party to have. Is Phone checking out the Sun Palace now, and it's a mutant.
Mhm. Okay. So, finally going back to checking for key items after that loop of looking for more loot, looking for more information, getting Isla into the party. I guess so. Sounds like Phone has kind of figured out where his party comp is now with Isla added it in. Probably not expecting to see too many changes at this point forward. And with all of the treasure that he's picked up, probably pretty good in terms of gear for the bosses and the fights that are in the near future.
Yeah, it's with this part. You're right. I mean, with Spike is gonna be having a little advantage here now, having the magic unlocked.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah, and it's gonna be loving that for sure. So this is gonna factor into Spike's party comp too. We could see like a different party on their side for sure. Um, and this Mega Mutant, like this party Phone has, I could see, yeah, Phone committing to this, and it's got a balance of everything. And I'm curious to see as wow, Sunshade's dropping there and a Gloom Helm. Um, I'm
The dual
excited
text
to
he was looking
see,
for as well.
yeah, really excited to see what Spike's plans are to what party comp they want to go for as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in seeing what these key items are going to be. I want to
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
direction this goes for. Oh, the gate
It's a gate
key!
key. Okay. It's gate key.
Okay, so that means that he has to backtrack for the ruby knife if he wants to go to Tyranno Lair. Since he has
Which,
not done Xenon Bridge, he peeked it, but didn't commit to it. So, sounds like we have an immediate turnaround. Yep, now that he knows the pieces are there, going back
yeah,
to Xenon
he's
Bridge, gonna pick that up.
ecstatic to, yeah, to see that gate key drop here.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyranno Lair is definitely one of the faster modes to go through, so probably super ecstatic to see that gate key drop there.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. And I think a lot is going to depend on the relative power level between Phone and Spike. You know, this is by no means over. Spike is pretty
no.
close to multiple go modes right now. And Spike, I think, has a comparable power level in terms of the party comp and how quick he's going to be able to go through some fights. So, given that Phone still needs to go through Xenon Bridge a little bit, and depending on what item Spike finds next, this is still anybody's race.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, for all we know, too, Spike already having the ruby knife, not having to go through bridge, maybe does a Sunplows play here.
Yeah, if Spike goes for Sun Palace now, then it's almost dead even.
Where he's glancing at it and taking a park there for the epic and ooh,
Okay.
the commitment. All right.
Yeah, this is a real race
Okay,
now.
yeah, this is getting pretty spicy. Now, it's in like you were saying earlier too. Phone did do more checks, than Spike did, and it's kind of cool to see like both these players are getting the same go mode at basically the same time now.
Yeah, really even.
hmm So, man, I'm just kind of like sitting here just like with a big smile right now because we know that both of them are pretty much neck and neck, like both in their 20s. So able to get through these fights easily. Um, it's just gonna come. It's gonna come down to the wire with just the execution on these boss fights coming up here and the dungeons too.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see. Like,
Me
it's
too.
very rare that you get to see that kind of parity between two great runners like this. A lot of the time, you know, it's like somebody just finds something. It's like, oh, you found the thing first, so you know you have like a 15-minute advantage on your opponent. But this is just like really, really even. Okay, so that
Yeah.
was like 56-30 for the final
Mm,
piece for Spike. And
yeah.
now we're gonna see him heading towards. Looks like he's actually got a little bit of cleanup that he wants to do on his side before heading into the pass, before heading to Tyranno Lair.
Unlocking prehistory. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So we have to go through the gate first here,
Right,
and
right, of course.
yeah, and then Yakra 13 like not even standing a chance at all.
Right.
Yeah, just those drop kicks were um pretty good kryptonite for him. And this is really cool. So yeah, they're both probably going to be shopping here, like getting prepped up
hmm
before they really have to make this trek here into Tyranno Lair and just getting through the end and now through Ocean Palace.
Yep. Yeah, Phone going back to Millennium Fair, doing a little bit more shopping, and Spike now heading straight into prehistory. So moving into prehistory at 58 even.
Even. Ooh, man.
Pretty good. 58 minutes to Tyranno Lair. We're gonna see a little bit more shopping before going straight into the dungeon, I think.
Yep, getting this free end spot right here, and checking out the rock that's in the ruins here.
So we do have a little bit of a
Mhm.
speed advantage here on Spike's side. Not a whole lot, right? So if you're thinking about it, Spike was about 3 minutes ahead of Phone in terms of getting into future access. And then they both went wildly different directions. Spike went for the factory, Phone went kind of on a looting binge. And then they both hit Sun Palace relatively close to each other. But Phone needed to double back for the bridge. So Phone now is maybe like a minute or 2 minutes behind Spike in terms of getting to prehistory. But it's very, very close, despite the divergences that we've seen.
Yeah, like in Phone unlocking Magic 2, Spike
Okay.
wasn't really too ecstatic about anything that was dropping from the hunting range. So getting prepped up now for their trek into the Tyranno lair here. Yeah, this is really, really close.
I
It's
can't
anybody's.
help but feel like, despite the slight time disparity as it stands right now, Phone feels like he has a little bit of an advantage, right? Being able to get the magic unlock here without having to go through factory, getting the extra loot from running around in the future, and getting kind of a little bit of an experience advantage early on. It feels like Phone potentially has maybe some faster clears, maybe some better boss fights, but yeah, all of that is, in the future, right? The next 30 minutes is really going to tell the story.
Yeah, and I mean Spike's party having Ayla and Robo. There's like the status element move, Boogie, some partying, where on bosses like Fleet Plus, if we see them later, or even Slash too, there are bosses that you can use those status effects on. Um, Beast Toss is really good too. I mean, Flame Tackle and Blaze Kick, like both these parties are really good.
And roughly 2.5 minutes between entering prehistory. Phone coming into prehistory at a minute, hour and 30 seconds.
Yeah, and I don't believe, yeah, Spike did not see Marl in the burrow either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh man, yeah, but yeah,
But yeah,
both these
very, very
runners
close.
are just showing off, like really, the both of them that they deserve to be here because boy, they're showing it right now with how close they are. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's
And it really
Spike.
feels like, 2.5 minutes, not that big a gap. That's a thing that, like,
Mhm.
some clean execution, some good menuing, like hitting a skip or two. There's a lot of ways to make up that amount of time, I think, in the race, the amount of race that they have left.
Yeah, there, like you said, there's still a lot to go on here. We got some bosses coming up that are really tough. Um, and I think Spike is taking some fights too, just to get a little more experience.
Hmm.
And it's Tyranno Lair can be a tricky dungeon, where the skips, they're a little tougher
Hmm.
just to like navigate through here.
Yeah, there's definitely an execution requirement in this area. The lines to make it past some of these enemies is very small.
Oh yeah. Um, and yeah, they're both basically like in the same room right now too, which
Yeah, that.
what they are.
Oh,
So
oh, that 2.5 minutes turned into a lot less
yeah,
real quick.
Own making their way around, grabbing all the chests here.
Yeah, Phone really prioritizing the loot in a way that I think Spike hasn't. I'm not sure whether or not that's going to pay off for him, but as it stands right now, not needing to take these fights, feeling like your power level is good enough without that,
Mm.
as opposed to Spike, taking these fights, grinding a little bit from some of the fights that he didn't take earlier on, that feels like a pretty big advantage. Yeah, Phone
And
moving on up here, and looks like he's actually going to beat Spike to the boss fight.
which is Slash. We don't know which one yet. Um, but preferably like we want super, like maybe Super Slash, but
There it
a
is, Super
weaker to
Slash.
yeah, weaker to magic. Drop kick though. I mean, You gotta make, yeah, the 24. You've got to make
Wow.
him feel not too super here.
So Phone managing to skip a few fights that Spike took. Phone maybe spending not as much time in the outskirts of prehistory, and turning that 2.5-minute deficit into probably close to a 2-minute advantage. Coming into this fight at like 103.20, I think.
Yeah, not taking long at all. Is Slash is already down, taking a nap.
And Spike is hot on his heels. Like, let's be clear here.
Yeah,
Spike is
yeah.
no duffer. Spike is like right there.
Yeah, right on his tail. There's...
And now dodging a few fights. Ooh, but getting stuck in a few fights too.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, it is tricky. Like had you said, where these are really like tight, like skips that you have. And Tyranno there is, it's one of those go modes where it's not, I believe it's not seen as often as like something like Magus Castle too. And the Phone heading into this Tyranno fight right now.
So is the Tyranno fight not randomized? Is this like always going to be the Tyranno fight?
Yeah, so this is always going to be the Tyranno fight. Yeah, you're right. And the only thing that really is going to be different is the ultimate move that like at the end of the countdown. So it could be something different, like I believe like like something like a Luminaire or along those lines of somebody's like ultimate move. And the hit points on Tyranno, it's also changes for every seed. So it could be like from 11 to like I believe 15 or 16,000-ish right here.
Definitely seeing some huge damage output. 2.5k for the dropkick combo. And then another 1.2 or so from Luca. So if they're doing close to 4k a turn cycle, this fight's going to be over sooner than later.
Yeah, and Spike's fight with Slash is over now too. Let's go getting ready to just also get onto this fight with Tyranno.
I saw a napalm learned for Luca, but I think in the wake of Flare, that's probably not something that they're going to be paying too much attention to. Well, this Tyranno's definitely taking a licking and keep on kicking.
Yeah, he's tanky. He's... Oh,
there he goes.
As soon as I say that, yeah, he's just like,
exactly.
Take a nap.
Lots of level ups, Gloomhelm drop. But of course, the most important part is making their way towards the Ocean Palace.
Yeah, which is the very, very end game. And getting, well, first having to go through the Zeal Palace, which involves another boss fight, and then proceeded to go through Ocean Palace to fight Lavos. I'm gonna see maybe what Phone is planning on doing if they want to like visit like Inhasa or something along those lines.
Right.
And
could easily see some more time spent shopping or cleaning up inventory or just consolidating before heading into the final fights.
Yeah, and Spike just now making their way through those fights there and getting ready to begin like their Tyranno fight also. And we were talking about shopping, and Phone is wanting to check out what rock is hanging out behind this bookcase here. A little secret.
So what rock are they looking for with this party comp?
this party comp, well, we found a blue
Rock
rock
Plus.
there, which is the Magus, Luca, and Robo rock for um, Omega Flare. But with this party, this is team, okay. So it looks like this is Team Silver Rock from what Fox is saying in chat here.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of good equipment going on these various characters here.
Yeah, those sunshades are really cool. That hero medal too. And Luca's up to speed with everybody else too with that dash ring.
Yeah, nice to see. Still haven't spent the tabs, I think. But probably not going to be too much longer before we see that happen.
Yeah, and this shop is, I mean, at least for like all the goodies that it could potentially have, is pretty. It's just filled with consumables and the amulets. Well, which is fine. Like these hyper ethers and the elixirs are great to have, and an amulet too. But this is like a very, very bare bones like shop to see here.
Yeah, not a whole lot of things available besides the important ones, right? The amulet and the consumables.
Yeah. So like being set with just, they won't have to really worry too much about their MP costs and all that kind of fun stuff. His phone's going to be finding out who's sitting at Zeal's throne, and Spike taking down Tyranno.
Yeah, what is next on the list of boss fights we got here?
Yeah, poof. So before the big bad Lavos, like, we got Son of Sun. So,
a bit of an awkward fight this one, right?
it is. It is. I mean, with no matter like what kind of gear really that you have, like obviously like the red mails, any of the ruby armor to resist like any fire is great to have here. But with this, you got to find the right flame, and a phone does.
Getting lucky on that first shot.
Yeah, and you have to hit it 10 times, and then Son of Sun's going downtown, as Tyranno did just now. So Spike getting ready to catch up with Phone here and get to the Ocean Palace, like right behind them.
Yeah, I was watching the timer, and Phone had a Zeal entry at 107.50. And it feels like it has been roughly 2.5 years since then.
It does.
But it's been less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, that is wild you mentioned that. It's like a couple minutes does feel like a really long time.
It really does.
In a race, yeah.
Yeah, so 4 minutes, 20 seconds between the times on warping into Zeal. And then, of course, a lot of time is going to depend on the execution, on how much time they spend in menus, how much time they spend in shops. But that is a little bit of a gap that Spike has to make up, but definitely not insurmountable.
Yeah, and we also have to worry about the twin boss fight too. That's the only one really that's gonna be in the way for Phone now until Lavos. And with this tournament, it's been pretty trolly. We've seen a lot of boss golems. We really have, and so I mean, you know, hoping to maybe see some little variety here too. And there's the elevator also, which that can be a struggle in itself. So there still are some other little things here that we have to worry about before like we get to the big baddie.
Yeah, and the execution going through the Ocean Palace is absolutely real. There is any
And
number of decisions that you can make here, and finicky kind of positioning things that you can do to steal a couple of seconds. So a lot is going to depend on how well they make it through here.
yes, Jazer's hoping for vanilla Golem twins.
Why would you do that?
That is pretty diabolical. I
What
would.
about Dalton? What about double Dalton?
Oh no! Don't say that. No. That's. I would like to say this too, that it is really, really incredible that both of our runners are at Ocean Palace at around an hour 14. Spike just gonna be in there in a couple minutes, but it's just two really skilled players, and they're already at the end game.
Yeah, I didn't even think, like, I was so focused on how close the runners were to each other, like, just looking at the absolute times here. This is looking like a, what, 125, 130 seed? That's wild.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Around that ballpark, yeah. I'm kind of glancing at Spike a little bit because they were taking a peek at that blue rock for a second. I'm just curious to see maybe what they're planning on doing here with shenanigans.
I am a fan of rock shenanigans.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm a huge fan as well. I'm wondering a little bit if Phone is gonna be taking this grind spot for a little while.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time Phone is going to spend here. I feel like Phone had a really comfy amount of power, but seeing their levels around 26 here is pretty good, but probably not quite as high as he wants for a Lavos fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, well, with this skill level too, runners that do like to just, they feel comfortable going past the grind fight after level 27. So that's a possibility too, or depending too on the party comp, if they want more levels, just to have like more hit points or just more power, really.
So there is definitely more fights after this. This isn't like the last fight that Phone is going to be taking. What level range do you think they want to be at for Lavos specifically once they get to that point?
Ooh, man. So ideally around level 31, 32, like around the early 30s, like 33, typically. Yeah, so both of our runners coming in here around like level 24 at the beginning, they're gonna be making the grind spot maybe their home for just a couple minutes. It's understandable too, just due to the fact that how like early they got here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bike taking on their Son of Sun.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see if Spike gets as lucky as Phone did. Not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phone deliberately kind of knocking some enemies into his path. He still wants to take some fights on the way down. Woof.
Yeah,
2 misses in a row.
Yeah, Son of Sun can be not so friendly at times. But with Spike's party, having Robo with Heal Beam too is nice. So Spike does have that safety net there too, to feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Phone is going for turning Frog into maybe a meal for later, but
So yeah, actually, if you don't mind speaking to this a bit, I know that this is a strategy specifically for the elevator. Could you tell me kind of what goes into that?
Yeah, exactly. Sure. So he has both. So Frog and Ayla, Frog Squash and Dino Tail have their damage based off of their stamina, so their hit points. So the lower your health is for both of those moves, the stronger it's going to be. And the Scouters, can really only, like, in vanilla, a lot of us, we typically would take out the scouters using their respective magic and all that kind of jazz. Um, but with Frog Squash or Dino Tail, if your hit points are low enough, for whatever reason, those two abilities are like able to just be like enough damage to take out both those, like all the scouters, like without even having to cast any magic. So it's way quicker to just use those to get through here, and it won't take as long to, like just cast spells individually, like one by one.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Yeah, it's the same strategy that goes into farming early on. If you have something that can screen clear all at once, then it's a lot smoother and a lot cleaner to go through.
yeah, agreed.
Spike getting through his Son of Sun fight at 119.30, which is a little bit behind, I gotta say. So the gap between the two is actually widened a bit. This puts Spike about 6-ish minutes behind Phone at the same point.
Yeah, and level, let's see, so okay, Luca 25, and so definitely gonna be hanging out, it's the same thing Phone did at the grind spot. I'm curious, yeah, how long Spike will be hanging out there, since, I mean, an hour 20 into the seed, they don't know where each other are at either, like how tight this is.
That's true. Yeah, I bet
yeah.
both of them are looking at this like an hour 20 this deep into the seed. Like they gotta both feel like they're ahead right now.
Yeah, or exactly. Or there's always that thought in the back of the mind too that maybe they feel like they found that go mode earlier. Like you know what I mean? Like this person might be here already, and like since they were able to find like a go mode this easily, it's just kind of like wow, like they could have also. So it's like, yeah, it definitely gets your sweat glands going here. Just you're wondering where the other person's at.
Yeah, and gosh, so close, so close. Ooh, good skip on Phone side. No, that one is particularly hard to execute.
Oh yeah, it's really tough. It's weird, like as soon as you like you have to walk there as Phone's doing, but as soon as you like hit the scouter, you can run to the right, and then you're just able to like glide down and do that skip there.
That 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Oh no, that's really, really good. And oh, Spike is booking it. Okay.
Ooh, not even spending time at the grind spot. With what was it? Did you say his levels were around like 25 right now? That's
Yes.
scary to me.
Ooh, his party is Team Blue Rock. I could see Spike probably wanting to take all these fights here coming up to get as much XP as possible, knowing also that Phone is also a very good player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Willing to take some more riskier plays here.
Yeah, this does feel a little risky, but at the same point, like, I fully understand being like, all right, well, I don't know where they're at, but I know that I feel like I need to book it, and that's completely fair in this position.
And we got a prediction correct.
Double golem.
It's the golems, yes. All right. So nothing. This is vanilla. So we've all felt the pain of the golems.
Yeah, these counterattacks are such a hassle, especially because it's an even tankier boss spot to fight in.
And Phone is opting to go for the frog flare strats, which, oh my goodness, yeah, frog having 1 hit point, that just that 4,700 is insane damage right there. And with setting the Golem twins the flame effect too, they're only going to be doing their single target attacks for that first turn there until Phone casts another spell. Which, I mean, with the way...
Yeah, that's very cool, kind of that setup, locking the bosses into a particular pattern. I love the knowledge on display here, right? Knowing that this is the direction that the boss fight's going to take.
Yeah, very, very knowledgeable with, just knowing, like, all the counterattacks that the golems can do with all their
quick
spells.
Fight! That was like 2 turn cycles? That was incredible.
Yeah, that frog flare is no joke. Holy schmackerels. Yeah. Spike, I believe, is taking some extra fights here just before going down the elevator. And Phone's, getting ready and all getting set up for this lava fight that they're going to be entering in here at around, like, an hour 25, which is insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, this is just, like, both runners doing extremely well. Just, like, being at this point already, like, this is a pretty fun round 2 to watch.
Yeah, this is round 2. Yeah.
It is.
Oh man, I didn't even think
is.
about that. I guess this is a 16-person tournament, so round 2. This is effectively the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
This is an incredible race.
Spike continuing the grind as Phone entering this Lavos 1 boss fight. Kind of
so
curious.
What is Lavos' status effect going to be today?
I was just gonna say, like, I'm curious to see what it's gonna be.
We did get a couple of amulets equipped, so I'm not sure whether or not we're going to have the opportunity to even see it.
Yeah, it's true. We're gonna see something now, so... Ooh, what it gonna be? Slow. It is slow.
One of the easier to deal with statuses, I think.
Yeah, it is easy to deal with. Something slow does, other than slow down your ATB bar a lot, it also decreases your damage too.
Oh, what a hassle.
Yeah.
So does this mean that should Phone get some menu time in between now and the next phase, that he'll want to unequip the amulets and find something better, some more stats, or is there a reason to keep the amulets on besides obstacle?
Well, Lavos 3 does have a phase where, the Millennial Fair one, where, I mean, they can definitely, they have the ability to take down any of your, like, defensive status effects things. So there's obstacle and that one phase in Lavos 3.
Spike resetting out of a fight. I saw the lock all hit earlier and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good.
Phone doing frog flare things and squashing the first part of Lavos there.
Yeah, moving straight through Lavos 1. Excellent job so far. Wow, with how close they were finding their go modes, I was really kind of concerned about what sort of the rest of the race was going to look like. But you know, all of Phone's preparation in the early parts of the match, all of his like gear and experience from the earlier fights, it's really paying off here. He is moving through here so much faster than Spike is.
Yeah, Phone for sure had their game plan like set up like in their head before, like even before going into the Ocean Palace. Um, and now with Lavos 2 doing, they're going to be flinging bananas here pretty shortly, and getting Phone's taking the offensive here too, and
Spike tweaking their party comp a little bit on their way down the elevator here.
yeah,
Trying to find something to speed up these fights and not get stuck in them as much.
yeah, Spike could be adjusting Magus around to make the black hole strats easier too. So that the scouters could be like easy peasy lemon squeezies for Spike there.
Well, the bananas have in fact been tossed around. Luca taking like 85% of her health pool. Frog's sitting at about 50%, so not as big a hit as it potentially could have been.
Yeah, and the left arm. Ooh, you'll talk both of them out. Okay. And this is the phase 2 of Lavos now, where now after obstacles been cast, you can attack the middle bit there and do all the heavy hitting damage.
And this is the time for it.
Oh yeah, both the runners just doing a great job of just like, I mean, this is both having really good time so far. Like 130s, we're almost like, it's crazy to think that we're basically almost at the end now.
Yeah, Phone's going to be coming out of this with, what, like a 133, 134? And Spike looks like he's aiming at around 140 at this point.
And we still have Lavos 3 to go through also. Who knows what, like, shenanigans that they're thinking about doing today. It's... So...
Yeah, I guess it's never a guarantee, is it?
Nah, we're not out of the floodgates yet, but... Yeah, it's Shadow Doom Blaze, definitely a pretty chonky attack here. However, with Frog Flare, it's gonna be the other way around here for our Lavos here.
Yeah, taking advantage of that low health, doing some massive hits. Dino Tail coming out. Oh, Dino Tail not coming out because this phase is over.
Yeah, and a Tabin suit dropped also for Luca. Yeah.
So I think this is the point at which we typically see some menuing in between the two phases.
Yeah, the menu glitch. Which, I mean, the name applies a little bit. You're able to enter your menu to like heal yourself and just equip different gear. As soon as like the screen goes black, if you press the menu at the right time, you're able to get into it and adjust everything.
There it goes.
Yep.
I believe that there's a setting to make that easier. Is that enabled on this flag set?
On this flag set, no.
Okay.
It is not. For this tournament we have the gear randomizer and the healing rando turned on, and we're now at Lavos 3, the core. As Spike finishing their way down the elevator, gonna tangle with some Scouterinos, and Phone really wanting to take down this middle bit here.
Getting about 5k a turn cycle with Luca's massive spells and Frog and Isla combined. Pretty good damage.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and really, yeah, banking on these flares, maybe wanting to have Frog kind of hang out in a lower health pool if they're wanting to get their frog flares out. Well, Luca's gonna get countered here. 5 revives though. We got 5 of those bad boys waiting for us.
And Spike moving up and very soon going to be entering his own boss fights here.
Gonna see the golem bosses. Or the regular golems. I'm so used to seeing those bosses there now. Drop kicking going on a phone side.
Yep, the flare and the drop kick combined.
And
huge damage output.
And now, yeah, with active life back, the middle bit, Phone's going to be able to do cast flare again with Lugo without having to worry about getting countered also. Now we're getting ready for some golems. I'm hoping to... Here comes Omega Flare. Yeah.
Nice. Disco Inferno.
It's always 47. Ooh.
Not bad.
It's really, really good.
Although it's so funny to compare that to the frog flare coming out of phone side.
And they're both...
Oh no. The counterattack.
The pew-pews.
Yeah, nasty counterattack. Killed 2 of his characters, so seeing a reset there. Maybe going to rethink his approach, or maybe just going to run straight back in and try again.
Checking to see maybe if he has some gear that could help counter, like there's shadow attacks there.
Yeah, coming into this fight at level 29 feels a little low, feels a little scary. But maybe that's not enough to make a difference.
And we're going to be getting at least 1 level up too after this fight also. So that'll be nice. Defenses are still down over there for the bit. Just drop kicking away.
Phone's just chewing through this health pool.
Yeah.
So much damage output.
There's our middle bit friend again.
More flares coming out.
Yeah. Spike's been doing some fire action over there. As that is one of the... Yeah, it's definitely safer there as GG's to phone.
Ooh, yeah. Grats to phone at what, 130, 136? Looks like a 136.38 according to the race time.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, congratulations, phone. That's excellent time, really.
Just as Spike makes his way through the double golem fight and is gonna head into the Lavos fight momentarily. Potentially talking to phone about interviews. It sounds like he's mostly going to be in chat. There's mic use concerns. So he'll show up in chat. We can do a little bit of chatter back and forth.
Oh, we absolutely can. Yep, Spike's getting themselves ready. All the armor and good stuff. As they're making their way into their Lavos 1 fight now, too.
Yep, and the gap has widened a little bit. I mean, phone has definitely overcome the small gap that they had in the beginning and very much lengthened their lead through Zeal and Ocean Palace. So this is incredible results. Spike making his way into the Lavos fight at roughly 13 minutes behind Phone at this point. So we went
And
from, literally on the same screen in Tyranno Layer to a pretty wide gap, which really speaks to the power level of Phone's party as well as Phone's execution.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, Phone executed the run very, very well. Um, Lots of clean stuff going on, and I just love seeing Omega Flare going off.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah,
Spike is
it's
definitely performing on his side, right?
yeah. So Spike or Phones in chat wanting to know about this gap that both of us are talking about right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So I don't know if you are planning on going back through the VOD's Phone, but we had a Zeal entry for you at 10. No, it was prehistory at 107.50 for Spike, and you were about 2.5 minutes behind at that point. And then we had you entering Zeal about 2.5 minutes before Spike did, and the process through Zeal going through Ocean Palace, that gap pretty much only lengthened. Spike ended up skipping the grind spot, and I think is here at maybe like a little bit lower level than you were as a result, and entered the Lavos fight at roughly 13 minutes behind.
and the way that both of you found your go modes was vastly different. Spike did go and do the prison section really early, compared to how you had checked. I believe everything before the pendant stuff.
So do we have any specific questions for Phone at this point? I mean, I would
Yeah,
love to know more
this
about some of the routing strategy.
yeah, with I'm kind of curious how Phone felt about finding all two of the key items for each go mode, and then taking that dive into the Giant's Claw just to find like the Prism Shard there. I believe it was the Prism Shard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Lava's being a meanie bobini.
Yep. Spike taking a phase 1 reset. There's supposed to be routing strategy? Question
Yeah,
mark.
no, you're right there. It's go to dungeon, find key item, like try to super quickly.
Spike now into Lavos 1 again, and we'll see if he changes his approach up or just hopes for a little bit better luck.
Yeah, maybe saving Robo to do some like healing, more defensive type abilities. As
Yeah, we see him prioritizing Heal Beam here.
that is fair, Phone. That is fair. Which
Well, if hubris was your strategy, it worked out.
yeah, and with this Lavos 1 fight that Spike has going on right now, both Flare and Dark Matter, like, really, I mean, super strong abilities, and with Lavos 1 having around 1,000 hit points, or 10,000 around that ballpark, it's gonna take maybe, like, let's see, so that Dark Matter, like, both of those combined, that's, oh, that Flare.
Yeah, it's a big
It's
hit.
like 3,500. per like turn every time they do that. So he does like 4 rounds with both of them. Like this Lavos one is gonna be nothing, and Robo's hanging out, gonna be that support.
Yeah. Robo's keeping the party up.
Yeah.
He's got the pom poms on.
You just see all these pom poms moving around wildly with like a rocket punch animation going on.
Rocket punch pom poms.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the best. But yeah, the heal support seems like it's working out better this time, keeping the party up, keeping those defenses high, and keeping everybody alive so that they can keep outputting that damage. Need to throw a couple ethers around, but then the flares will continue until morale improves.
Which I feel like after this flare right here, it is going to improve immensely. Yep.
That was, in fact,
Awesome.
the important flare.
Yes. It's like, I've got you, Spike, and just took it down.
Right. Spike potentially moving forward into phase 2 here, although seeing some chat in the race time, we might see a forfeit here. Not sure.
And the shelter's ready to go.
Yeah. I would love to see Spike go through the rest of this boss fight, but if he doesn't want to, that is entirely his prerogative at this point. Yep, and that looks like a forfeit. Spike deciding that this is it. So we're going to see if we can get him into chat and get a little bit of conversation going. Hang tight, folks, while we figure this out. Man, heck of a race, though, huh, Nate?
Yeah, it was. Like, both of them just, like, they had their go modes at the same time.
Right?
Going the side by sides, and Lavos is just doing, you know, the Lavos-y things that they do. Great job from both of the runners. This seed was it was something with just all the like key items that Phone was finding, and like there's like, and just the divergence too, where a Spike had found it differently, like going in the factory, and it was really cool just seeing how both of them did things like differently to get that same result and merging at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I especially love seeing, like you were talking about, the divergence in routes, right? The directions that the different runners go, the things that they think are like, okay, this is the important thing that I need to do at this point, and them kind of splitting off, having different ideas of it, and then at the end, after getting the gate key for both of them, kind of merging in and you know, high-fiving each other in Tyranno's lair is absolutely wild.
Hey, Spike.
Hey, welcome, Spike. So, go ahead, Nate.
No, yeah, I was really excited to see you repping the Team Blue Rock there.
I was gonna try it, but then I ran into the dual golem, and then like everything kept forcing me back into I had the single tech. I really should have just stuck with Ayla and Luca.
It's like that golem spot. It is, especially that is really difficult, and I also like how you did that improvisation there, where even with Omega Flare being a really strong attack, you took into consideration that the fire attacks would be an easier way to get through that part too. So good job with those with that golem fight there, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I know how to manipulate Golem pretty well, as you saw at the beginning too when I went to back a Cath and Golem was there. So I didn't.
Yeah.
Once I realized Omega Flare was Shadow, I just was like, oh, okay, well, this is quick to improvise on.
Mhm.
Yeah, and with oh, what was it? There was, yeah, both of you had gotten your go mode at basically the same time. Yeah, phone had to just get the ruby knife at the bridge, and then you found your gate key like last, as he kind of found it a little bit earlier, I believe.
Mhm.
And so it was
About
pretty
a
cool.
2.5 minute difference.
Yeah, I realized my mistake was doing factory, but I realized that I hadn't gone to end of time yet, and I was like, well, I'm gonna open up 12,000, and if like Sun Palace doesn't have gate key, I'm going up low.
Yeah,
Yeah, I that seemed like a really good strategy, and then Sun Palace having gate key just kind of negated a bunch of your work. Just a really unfortunate, unlucky decision, or not decision,
Yeah.
but unlucky circumstance.
I just wish, and I think this is what forced me not to use Ayla, is that I thought really at the beginning that I was gonna have like Ayla and Frogs like Grotto, so I put all the power tabs on the Robo, thinking I would get Uzi Punch quicker, not realizing that Ayla was in Proto, of course. I should have held off on using the power tabs because I really don't like using Robo a lot.
One of those like hindsight is always 2020, right?
Yeah.
Looking back and be like, oh well, now I can see that I could have made this decision differently, or I could have gone this direction instead. That's really tough.
I will say the biggest thing that probably tripped me up wasn't even like I mean, Phone and I did go mode at the same time, from what I'm understanding, is that the elevator. The elevator I was getting freaked out on because of the last fight on it. I didn't know how
Yeah,
to
you had
handle it.
you had an unfortunate reset there on the elevator.
Yeah.
no, yeah, those scouters are just really intimidating, and no, I get it. With, I mean, the party.
Yeah, there was just no single text to use, and then like I had nothing really like area effect physical wise to like negate it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't sure how far like Magus was to use the black hole kind of stuff, but
I think I was supposed to get Black Hole next, but I never went and got it. I think it last tech, but I could be wrong.
yeah,
And then
no,
I just didn't think about it because I was just trying to race through it, honestly, because I was like, wow, I'm like an hour and almost a half on elevator. I need to go because I know Phone's probably already on this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watching you go through the Ocean Palace and just blow through the grind spot, not even stopping at all. I was like, oh wow, what does this indicate about his mindset at this point?
Yeah, I was just trying to go fast at that point because not only the elevator fight, but Tyranno, I don't know the skip, and as you saw, I pulled like practically every fight right before the first boss.
Yeah, it
And
did
that
look a
part
little rough for
always
the
trips me
encounters.
up.
no, but
And that wastes like 5 minutes, right, Nate? I think when we played together, it's like a 5 minute loss there if you get all the fights.
it's, yeah, and we had mentioned too, like Tyranno layer is really difficult to go through. It's not really often like a go mode that we really get to practice like that often. Like, unless like, you know, we have like I don't know, a like dedicated save for it. But it is a fast go mode, but it's also definitely one of like the trickier ones too, for sure.
Well, I will say, like, I had fun, and the fact that I was
Yeah.
like practically neck and neck with Phone really like makes me feel good about myself, considering where I was when I first started playing, and where I know Phone's at with playing. So either way, I had a lot of fun. I'm just thankful to have even gotten this far in the tournament. So I'm gonna keep going. You know.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can say that for our part, we had a lot of fun watching you and seeing, you know, kind of the different routes that you both take, but still converging at that point in Tyranno Lair was really, really cool to watch.
just out of curiosity, where did Phone go?
Phone did a couple of different things in the beginning. He peeked Xenon Bridge without committing to it until after he found his gate key. I think Phone also went through Giant's Claw and saw some more items there. Like, he had full knowledge of 1600 before moving on to the future.
Interesting. I always, like, in my mind, avoid Giant's Claw unless I absolutely need to.
He also did some kind of early grinding. I think he went to Desert before you did, and took that extra experience to a lot of the rest of the seed, and then spent a decent amount of time.
Did he go back up Gath?
I don't think he ever did.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he just skipped that. He also spent a lot of his time in the future looting, so going through the sewers, going through Lab 16 and 32 before moving on to Sun Palace.
Anything interesting down there that I didn't catch?
Some decent equipment. I don't think we saw anything major, though. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just difficult to manage the accessories because I had Romo, and he was so slow, and I needed to have him with the speed belt in order to make it work.
Dash Ring and Giga Arm we're seeing from chat.
Dash Ring would have saved me. Yeah, that makes sense. Either way, that was a great seed. I learned a lot from it.
Yeah, I think it was a good
learned
seed,
that
and honestly,
don't
it was a
do
great race. It was a great race.
It was really fun to watch, man. I'm super happy, and yeah, and it's.
Well, buddy,
you're my homie.
You're my homie too. I said we would make it to the end, but I'm sorry to have let you down there.
It's okay. Nah, we're cool. We're cool. A Phone. GG's to Phone. Both of you.
GG's to Phone for sure.
Yes, both of you were saying like this was a really really fun race to watch. And speaking of some racing going on, tomorrow we do have Sigil versus Lord Batsy at 7 Eastern Time PM. And
it's definitely going to be a watch, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. With at 9 o'clock the same night, Chokosora versus BeautyInDiscovery. So that's going to be a double header.
I believe the winner of that second match is going to go up against Phone in round 3 in the semis. And the winner of Sigil versus Batsy is going to go up against you, Nate, in the semis, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
So we do have extremely fun races coming up tomorrow. Definitely hope to see a lot of us there.
Cool. Well, I think that's definitely all the questions I had. Anything else from you, Nate, before we call it a night?
No, yeah, so it's going to be more round 2 action tomorrow, and after that there will be round 3 shenanigans going on. And I did also want to mention too that we are also accepting some Gato Cup signups on our Discord. If there are any new players that are interested in coming to hang out with us, learn new things, and just have a good time and play this randomizer. And that's this is fun. I love the community. Lots of good people. We're willing to help you out. And I believe that's all I have to say.
Great. Well, I think that's all for me. Definitely check out the races that are coming up tomorrow, and keep an eye out on the Jets of Time Discord. As more races get scheduled, those will get posted in there, I'm sure. So, looking forward to seeing all you folks in the next one, but I think that's it for us.
Thank you, everybody, the crew especially, for making this happen.
Yep, shout outs to our Restreamer, BeautyInDiscovery. And shout out to Fitz for organizing the tournament. It's been very cool so far.